Hello everyone! Welcome po ulit kayo sa ating Math-Isip YouTube channel. And in today's topic, we are going to discuss about integers. So we will have the introduction to integers. Thank you very much for clicking the subscribe button and for sharing our video to others as well. Para po sa ating mga fellow teachers who would like to avail of our PowerPoint products, you can always click the link in the description below. Alright, so without further ado, let us now begin with our topic. Okay, at the end of this video, ito po yung mga objectives natin. You will be able to describe the set of integers. Number 2, use positive and negative numbers to describe directions or opposites in real-life situations. You will be able to locate integers on the number line as well. And lastly, you will be able to compare and order integers. Okay, so madami po tayong objectives for today. So let us now start the lesson. Okay, to introduce integers, let us first review the concept of whole numbers. Okay, ano po ang whole numbers? Well, the whole numbers is the set of counting numbers including 0. Okay, so kung meron po tayong number line dito, we can start from 0 and then followed by the counting numbers starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up to infinity. Okay, these are the counting numbers or the natural numbers including 0. Ito po yung mga whole numbers natin. Now, ang nakikita lang natin dito is yung mga numbers on the right side of 0. Okay, but actually our number line goes in two directions. We have going to the right and then going to the left. Okay, at ang nasa gitna po, ito na yung 0. Okay, 0 divides this in two parts, the right side and then the left side. Okay, now anong tawag natin sa mga numbers dito sa right side? These are now the positive numbers. Now, ang positive numbers natin, it just mirrors yung nandito sa left. However, the numbers here now are starting from -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, up to negative infinity. Okay, so eto na po yung tinatawag nating mga negative numbers. Alright, so we have here positive numbers on the right, negative numbers on the left of 0. Okay, including yung mga numbers in between. However, if we want to focus on the natural numbers only, including 0, plus yung atin pong mirror image dito sa left side, ang tawag na po natin sa mga ito ay integers. Okay, take note, we have positive integers starting from positive 1 up to positive infinity. Now, in writing, we can always pwede natin gamitin yung positive signs. However, pwede rin naman pong wala, no? Pero pagdating po sa negative integers, it's always a must to include the negative signs. Okay? Now, yung 0 po natin, since nandito po siya sa gitna, it is actually neither positive nor negative. Wala po siyang sign. So again, an integer is a whole number that can be positive, negative, or 0. Okay? By the way, ito po yung symbol natin for integer. This is the common notation for integer. A double stroke letter Z. Okay? Aside from saying integers, this is also known as signed numbers. Okay? Pag sinabi po nating signed numbers, it refers to the set of integers. And lastly, take note, fractions and decimals are not integers. So, hindi po kasama yung mga in-between numbers dito. They are not integers. Okay, to understand this better, let's take a look at these real-life applications. Tignan po natin tong example number 1. So, if we have here a building and then meron po tayong basement for parking area. Now, the ground level, this actually represents 0 when it comes to integers, no? And yung nandito po sa taas, these are the above ground level. This now represents positive integers. Ano naman po yung nasa baba? These are the below ground and it represents negative integers. Kaya for example, kung nandito ka po sa first floor, this can represent positive 1 pagdating po sa integer. And if you are in the second floor, it will be positive 2. Ganun po, ano? Positive 3 sa third floor and so on. Now, if you are in the first basement, this could mean that in integer, it represents -1. Okay? Kapag nasa second basement ka na, that could represent -2. Okay, so another example where we can see the application of integers in real life is ito pong tinatawag nating sea level. Okay? Ano po itong sea level? Well, sea level is actually the height, average height po ito ng dagat. Okay, ito po yung level ng dagat. It is the average between the high tide and of course yung low tide. Okay? Saan po ito ginagamit? Usually, this is used to measure yung height ng isang object or elevation ng isang object o di kaya yung mga object under the sea, ginagamit ito to measure yung depth or yung lalim. So, above sea level, ito yung nasa taas, and then sa baba, we call it below sea level. Now, in representing using an integer, of course, yung sea level, it will be the 0. And halimbawa, kung meron po tayong object 50 meters above sea level, to represent this, we can use positive 50, alright? Or 50 meters. Halimbawa, may object sa taas. It can be a plane or it can be the mountain. Kung gaano kataas, we make use of positive numbers, alright? Now, if we have here the opposite, if we have an object 50 meters below sea level, ang gagamitin na po natin dyan ay negative number. So, negative 50 meters. Okay, one way to identify whether ang tinutukoy natin is positive integer or negative integer is to look at the keywords or yung mga clue words natin. Here, ang keyword natin dito is above. Okay? So, above is more of a positive word. That's why this is a positive integer. And then when we have the opposite, which is below, this is more of a negative word. So we can associate this with negative number. Okay? So let's have more examples para i-practice natin to. We have here temperatures, for example. If we have here 20 degrees below 0, ang keyword natin is below. Therefore, this is negative. Okay? Negative 20. Next one, we have here, for example, in a sports, we have an increase of 5 points. Ang increase po na keyword, it means positive. So we can write positive 5. In this way, lagyan po natin ng positive symbol or kahit wala na po. It's common for us to write just 5 kahit wala na po yung plus symbol. Next one, we have here 7 steps backward. Ang atin pong keyword dito ay backward. Therefore, it's negative 7. And lastly, we have here an altitude of 15,000 feet. Ano po yung altitude? Yun po yung height ng isang bagay. So for example, here an airplane with an altitude of 15,000 feet. Therefore, this is positive 15,000. Okay, ganun po yung pag-identify natin. Okay, to have more practice, we can have this exercise. Let's answer this together. Or if you want, you can always pause this video para po itry nyo on your own. You can pause this and then try to answer on a paper. Then you can come back later if you want to check your answers. Okay? So let's represent the following situations and their opposites using integers. So meron po tayong mga situations dito. And then we will write the integer it represent. And then we will write the opposite situation and the opposite integer. Okay, so let's start with the first one. 3 floors up. Ang keyword po natin dito is yung word na up. Therefore, ang integer natin is positive. So we have 3. Therefore, positive 3. Ang opposite of the situation, dito we have floors up, therefore we have floors down. 3 floors down. So, ang integer natin is negative 3. Okay, next one. A withdrawal of 10,000 pesos. Ang integer natin dito ay negative 10,000. Why? Because withdrawal is a negative, meaning kukunin mo. So, that can be a negative association. Now, opposite of the situation, ano pong opposite word ng withdraw? We can deposit. So, a deposit of 10,000 pesos, that's a positive 10,000. Next one, demerit of 2 points. When we say demerit, it means mababawasan yung points. So, it will have a negative integer. Negative 2, ang opposite po ng demerit ay merit. Okay, a merit of 2 points meaning positive 2. Next, a profit of 300 pesos. Okay, so when you say profit, yun yung kita. Therefore, it's positive 300. Opposite po ng profit, we have loss. Okay, so a loss of 300 pesos means negative 300. Okay, number 5, a descent of 25 meters. Okay, pag sinabi po nating descent, another word for this is descending. Okay, you are familiar with the word descending, ibig sabihin pababa. Alright, so negative 25, ang opposite naman ng descent is ascent. So an ascent of 25 meters, ginagamit usually itong mga words na ito when it comes to hiking, no? And our integer for ascent is 25, positive 25. Okay, so yun po yung mga sagot natin dito. Okay, now let's proceed to locating integers on the number line. Okay, paano po tayo mag-locate ng integers? Let's have this exercise para ma-try nyo muna. Okay, you can always pause this again if you want to answer this on your own. Okay, ang instruction natin dito ay identify which of the following numbers are integers and then plot them on the number line. Okay, so if you want to see the example, you can follow along as we answer. So una, we have here positive 6. Okay, saan po ba ang positive 6 sa ating number line? Of course, nandito po siya. And positive 6 is an integer. Okay? Next, let's plot 6 here on the right side of 0. Okay? We have another one, 0.4. Is this an integer? No, it's not an integer. This is a decimal number. Okay, next one. We have negative 4. Yes, this is an integer. Okay, it's now on the left side of 0. So we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and negative 4. Okay, dito po yung ating integer. Next one, we have here 1/3. Is this an integer? Hindi po. This is a fraction. Okay, so this is not included. We have negative 3.6. Is this also an integer? Hindi din po. This is another decimal number na negative. Okay, so it's not an integer. How about 0? Yes, 0 is an integer. So nandito po siya sa gitna. Next one, negative 3. We have negative 3 on the left side. So we have negative 3 here. Next, 0.10 is not an integer. And then lastly, 8/2. Is this an integer? Okay, at first glance, baka sabihin nyo pong hindi ito integer. However, yes, this is actually an integer. Bakit po? Remember, 8/2 is just positive 4. Okay, kaya ang positive 4 nandito po sa ating number line. Yan po. So these are all the integers on our number line. Okay, now moving on to the next part of our lesson, we have here comparing and ordering integers. Again, this is another skill you need to learn when it comes to our topic, integers. Alright, let's do this using an exercise. Okay, we will answer this together. Let us compare the following integers using less than or greater than symbol. But then again, you can always pause this if you want to test yourself. Then, balikan nyo na lang after answering. Alright, we have here the integers here below. You can always compare this with or without the number line. Pero para lang mas mag-guide kayo muna at this level, well, pwede tayong gumamit ng number line. Okay? Remember, sa number line, if we want to compare the integers from left to right, the value is always increasing. Meaning to say, yung mga nandito sa kanan ay mas mataas ang value kaysa yung nandito sa kaliwa. So if we have here 2, and then 1, of course, mas mataas ang value ni 2 kasi nandito siya sa right. If we have here negative 1 and negative 2, mas mataas ang value ni negative 1 kaysa kay negative 2. Okay? Next, we can also have an decreasing order, meaning kapag from right to left ka naman, yung value ng nandito sa kaliwa is always less than the value of the one here on the right. Meaning, of course, we have 5 and 4, laging mas mababa ang value ni 4 kay 5. If we have here negative 5 and negative 4, mas mababa ang value ni negative 5 kaysa kay negative 4. Alright? So let's proceed. We have here 2 and then 5. These are two whole numbers. So madali lang. We know that 5 is greater than 2. Next one, 0 and 1. Okay, we also know that 1 is greater than 0. Alright, and 1 is on the right side of 0. How about 0 and negative 4? Okay, this time, si negative 4 nasa left side na ni 0. So, if this is 0, nandito po sa left si negative 4. Therefore, mas mababa ang value ni negative 4. So, 0 is greater than negative 4. Next, we have here 3, and then we have negative 3. So, these are exact opposites. They are mirror integers. So, we have 3 is always greater than negative 3 because 3 is positive as compared kay negative number 3. Ganun din po dito, negative 4 and then 2, kung ano po yung positive number, yun po lagi ang mas mataas. Ganun din po kay 12 and negative 23. Kahit gaano man kalaki yung number, kung may negative sign siya, it is always less than a positive number. So 12 is greater than negative 23. Next one, we have negative 2 and then negative 5. Parehas po na negative numbers. Pero kung titignan po natin sa number line, ano po ang nasa kanan? We have negative 2. As compared kay negative 5, nandito po siya sa left. So, mas mataas ang value ni negative 2 kaysa kay negative 5. So, again, negative 2 is greater than negative 5. It's the exact opposite po kapag negative na po siya. Kung ano yung mas mababang number, pag negative siya, laging mas mataas po siya kaysa sa mas malaking number na negative. Katulad po yan dito sa next, we have negative 5 and negative 4. Okay? At first glance, kung ang titignan po lang po natin is yung number without the sign, para pong mas malaki yung 5. Ano? Pero kung dalawa silang may negative sign, ang mas malaki po dyan is yung mas mababang number, no? So we have here 5 is less than negative 4. Next one, we have here negative 32 and negative 40. So again, parehas po yan na negative. Pero ano po ang nasa right side? Is it negative 32 or negative 40? Yung mas mababang number po. So negative 32 is greater than negative 40. Okay, for our last exercise, we will now arrange the following integers in increasing order. So, pag sinabi po nating increasing order, ang ibig pong sabihin yan ay from the smallest or the least value to the greatest value. Okay, so we have here 3 sets of integers. At meron din po tayong number line dito. So, optional po itong number line. Kung wala pong number line, pwede rin pa rin po siyang malaman kung paano po yung arrangement. Okay, meron po tayong ituturong technique dito. So, simulan po natin sa first na sets. We have here 6, negative 3, positive 1, negative 4, positive 2, and negative 1. Now, if we're going to arrange them in increasing order, magsisimula tayo sa pinaka-maliit na number. So, alin po dito yung pinaka-maliit na number? Remember, if we have negative and positive numbers, yung negative numbers po, sila lagi yung nauuna. Okay? When it is increasing order. So, ano po yung pinakamaliit na number dito sa mga negative numbers natin? We have here negative 3, negative 4, and negative 1. Okay? Kung titingnan po natin itong number line, ulitin ko po, kung ano po yung mataas na number, basta negative siya, yun po yung pinakamaliit na value. So, we have here negative 3, andito, negative 4, andito sa left side. And then, negative 1, medyo nandito na po siya sa kanan. So, ang pinakamaliit dito ay negative 4. Alright? Next, followed by negative 3 and negative 1. Okay, ano na pong susunod? Yung mga positive numbers na. We have 6, 1, and 2. So, ano nang susunod kay negative 1? It's positive 1, then positive 2, and then positive 6. Ganun po yung pag-arrange natin. Now, without looking at the number line, ganun pa rin po, no? Titingnan lang natin kung alin yung mga negative numbers muna. We have negative 2, negative 1, negative 5, and negative 3. So, alin sa apat na ito ang may pinakamaliit na value? Yung number na may pinakamataas pag wala yung sign. So, we have negative 5. Yun po yung pinakamaliit na value. Next, followed by negative 3. and then negative 2, and negative 1. Sunod na po yung mga positive numbers. Mag-i-start ka na po sa pinakamaliit na positive number, which is, in this case, 0 followed by 4. Alright? There you go. Next, for the last set, okay, we have here, wala po ito sa mga number line natin. Magsisimula tayo sa mga negative numbers muna. Anong negative numbers dito ang pinakamaliit ang value? Of course, yung may pinakamataas na number, which is 30. Okay, negative siya. So, yan po yung pinakamaliit ang value. So, negative 30 followed by negative 15 followed by negative 10. Sunod na po yung positive 3 and positive 13 and lastly, positive 20. Alright, so ganun po ang mag-arrange ng integers without even looking at the number line. So I hope nasundan nyo po. I hope nasagot nyo po ng tama. Alright, so those are our lesson for today. And for the next one, we will now have absolute value of integers. Okay? So I hope to see you again on the next video. Thank you very much for listening. Okay, God bless po and bye-bye. Kung meron kang natutunan sa video na ito, please follow